The jurors for the Sid Commonwealth on their oath present that Lizzie Andrew Borden of Fall River, in the country of Bristol, on the 4th day of August in the year 1892, and in upon one Abby Durfee Borden, feloniously, wilfully, and of her malice aforethought an assault did make, with a certain instrument, to wit, a sharp-cutting instrument, the name and more particular description of which...
Ray, this is the trial of the century.
I can't believe that we get a seat in the courtroom.
Commonwealth on their oath do further present that Lizzie Andrew Borden of Fall River in the country of Bristol on the 4th day of August in the year 1892, in and upon one Andrew Jackson Borden, feloniously, wilfully, and of her malice aforethought, an assault did make, and with a certain weapon, to wit, a sharp-cutting instrument, the name and a more particular description of which is to the jurors unknown. Him, the Sid Andrew Jackson Borden, feloniously, wilfully, and of her malice aforethought, did strike, cut, beat, and bruise, in and upon the head of him, the Sid Andrew Jackson Borden, by the Sid striking, cutting, beating, and bruising, in and upon the head of him, the Sid Andrew Jackson Borden, divers, to wit, 10 mortal wounds, of which Sid mortal wounds the Sid Andrew Jackson Borden then and there instantly died.
I think it's pretty obvious Lizzie did it.
Yeah, this doesn't look good for her. And this event in Fall River, Massachusetts, this trial, and this family, they're going to haunt us. Hi, I'm Jeff Belanger, and welcome to episode 167 of the New England Legends podcast. It's our Halloween special.
Thank you for joining us on our mission to chronicle every legend in New England, one story at a time. New England Legends is more than just a weekly podcast that's been bringing you strange stories from the northeastern United States for the last 167 weeks in a row. It's a television series on PBS and Amazon Prime. It's a smartphone app with an interactive map to guide you through hundreds of these legendary locations. It's a super secret Facebook group, and it's a website.
We're obsessed with haunts, monsters, and other odd history from New England, and I can say the same for our Patreon patrons. This group of insiders kick in just $3 per month to get early access to new episodes, plus bonus episodes and content that no one else gets to hear. If you can help, please head over to patreon.com/New England Legends.
Jeff, Lizzie Borden's trial has been crazy.
I know. At times, Lizzie's testimony was all over the map. It's pretty clear that all the circumstantial evidence points to her guilt, but no murder weapon.
Look at Lizzie sitting over there.
Yeah.
What's going through her head?
Yeah, what about what went through the heads of Andrew and Abby Borden?
Oh, okay. Good point. Shh. Here comes the judge.
Okay.
The jury was out for maybe an hour and a half, but I think we're about to hear the decision.
What is your verdict?
Not guilty.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. Look at Lizzie over there.
She's sobbing in her hands. I could see her sister Emma is hugging her.
Yeah.
People are moving in to congratulate her. What a strange turn of events.
Oh my gosh.
And that will bring us back to today.
We all know the verdict. So many of us know the case. The reality is 2 people were murdered at 92 2nd Street in Fall River, and no one was ever punished for the crime.
Today, Lizzie Borden's house is considered one of the most haunted buildings in New England.
And I can think of no better place to spend Halloween. Ray, you ready for this?
I am ready.
Then let's go check out this infamous haunt.
Ray, this is it?
This is it? We are here.
Yeah.
This is amazing. So tell everybody where we are.
We are at the Lizzie Borden house in Fall River, Massachusetts.
Never been here.
You've never...
I grew up in Massachusetts, never been to Fall River. We passed Battleship Cove.
Yeah, that's so weird to me because I've been here like 100 times.
Yeah.
But I'm so excited to take you for your first time because this, like, I'm giddy because I remember what it felt like for me. So
I know the story.
Yeah.
And I actually watched the Christina Ricci movie recently just to prep for it. So I'm in full knowledge of what we're about to experience here.
Well,
I think
it's Halloween. It's trick or treat
All right.
at the Lizzie Borden house. Are you ready? All right. Trick or treat.
Trick or treat.
Jeff.
Hey.
Hi.
Come on in.
Thank you. All right. Can you introduce yourself for us, please?
Hi, Sue Vickery.
Sue Vickery, and you have been a tour guide here forever?
8 to 10 years.
8 to 10 years. That's also like a prison sentence.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, let me shut this door.
All right. So we are in the side hallway, entering toward the kitchen. So.
Well, I guess my first question is, what has been done as far as renovations? How authentic is this house?
Well, right where we're standing, actually, there used to be a door over here that went into a washroom.
Okay.
But the wall has been covered over since.
Okay. But everything else pretty true to original form?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
Meticulously so.
Except for the cameras on the wall. I doubt they were here in 1860.
Yeah. So the kitchen. So this is where they still cook for folks. This is an active
stove,
bed and
yeah.
breakfast, right? And so we're going to kind of walk around. I just want to get your reaction.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people don't realize that you can stay here. This is a legit bed and breakfast.
You can, and even during the time of COVID, they're under like 50% rule, right?
50% capacity right now.
Right. But you can still make reservations.
Sure.
But
I would rather stay here with the 50% capacity.
Oh, yeah.
You have the place basically to yourself, almost. Sort of.
10 person.
10 people, that's great.
Are you ready for this, Ray?
I am ready.
Okay.
As I look around, there's pictures of
Right.
Lizzie on the bathroom door with a hatchet. I like that. That's
There's
funny.
a lot of kitsch. So this room is sort of significant.
Ooh.
Okay, first I want to draw your attention. Check out this picture. Can you describe it for us?
Yeah, that is dear old dead dad.
Yes, Andrew Borden.
Lying on the couch.
This is the crime
hatchet
scene
to
photo.
the face.
Yeah.
And there is the handless
The alleged
hatchet. Right. It didn't have the handle because legend has it she threw that away. It may have been bloodied, so she broke the handle off.
Some people say it may have broken off during the attack.
Okay.
Other people say, it's possible it was intentionally broken.
But did they ever find the handle?
No.
They didn't find the handle. Burnt with the shirt.
No one knows.
All right, so look at this photo, Ray.
Yes.
You see? I mean, that's the actual crime scene photo. Now turn around.
Yeah. There's the two doors.
No, but I mean, look at the wallpaper.
No, I know.
Look
it's
at this.
exactly the same. The positioning of the photograph on the wall
It's actually the same.
is measured out. Is it the same one? Okay.
Photograph on the wall that you see in that picture.
Has it always been there, or was it
No, that would have been put up during
okay.
renovations.
Okay.
Do you dare sit?
I'll sit.
Go ahead. Now, not the original couch.
Okay,
one that
but
looks
still,
just like it.
it's still the area.
That's exactly.
This
where
is exactly where it happened. So
you are sitting
I'm now
exactly
sitting.
where Andrew Borden met his end.
yeah.
Just like that.
Okay. Now I feel like something should be happening to me right now. Do we want to start talking about ghost stories, or would you like to proceed with the
What do you
tour
let's,
first?
Let's see the crime scenes.
Okay. Well, here's one of them. I'm sitting on a crime scene.
One. Yeah, this is 50% of the crime scene in the house so far.
Hatchet to the face. How many times?
10 to 11.
10 to 11 times in the face.
You know what? Before we go upstairs, let's go into here because there's some things to see in the
Okay.
cabinet. This is the dining room right next to the what do we call this room? It's not
The
the
sitting
parlor.
room?
Sitting room.
Parlor.
Go over here and look in the cabinet. That's
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, you got to describe. You can't just. Say,
Well,
oh my
I know.
God.
I'm sorry. That's my initial reaction. Now I'll describe.
Yeah.
We have the two skulls of
Right.
Andrew and Abby,
replicas of the skulls, and those are photos of the actual skulls.
and these were used in the courthouse.
That's the damage that was done.
That was a lot of damage. I mean, the skull on Andrew on the left side is
Yeah.
pretty much caved in, and then the right side of Abby's head, the back,
Yeah.
side back is crushed in as well. That's amazing.
And
It was actually their actual skulls that were used in the courtroom, not replicas.
Right. It was, which caused Lizzie to pass out.
they would have been laid out in here. Right? Oh yeah, look. There's.
Oh, on the tables. That's right.
No,
Oh,
there's coroner boards on that wall.
these are the corner boards.
Yes.
Oh my
So
gosh.
they would have been laid out in here first, right?
You'll have to
They were
tell.
waked in the dining room on the table, but they were autopsied. Abby's autopsy was actually in the dining room on a coroner board.
Yep.
Andrew's, as you can see from his autopsy photo here, you can see the couch in the background. So you can see he was autopsied right in front of the couch he was killed on.
Okay.
God, there's like nothing.
You see the board underneath him.
That's his face or what's left of it, his beard.
Wow.
Absolutely devastated by.
This is gruesome. I mean, these are actual photos, but this is something you'd see in a horror movie.
Yeah, this is the autopsy photo, and it's absolutely.
Are these the actual boards?
They are used coroner boards. They
Yeah.
are local. Whether or not they were used on
Okay.
the Bordens, we have no way of knowing.
Yeah.
Let's go to the second. Well, actually, first crime scene, right? Like the first murder.
This would have been Abby, yeah, upstairs.
Well, we had to come in downstairs first. So
Sure.
let's go to Abby. We're going to head upstairs.
Okay. You know the way?
I do.
Okay.
I've been here.
Show me the way, Jeff. Show me the way.
We're passing a picture, Mr. Andrew Borden.
Handsome gentleman.
Totally handsome. Painting of Lizzie. There's so much here. So as we head up the stairs.
Mind your wires, sir. I don't want you to trip. Or mind my wire. All right, we just came up like a staircase that kind of bent. So hold on, let's go back just a little bit. So I was told that they came halfway up the stairs, and about halfway they were eye level with the floor.
Seventh step, you can see right over that landing, and they could see the body of Abby lying on the other side of the bed.
So right from underneath the bed, they could see the body.
Clear shot under the bed.
Wow.
So we're going to go in here. It's now the guest room, right?
Yes.
And right over here, you can see the other crime scene photo.
And people sleep here, by the way, right here,
yeah.
Right next to Abby. And actually, not just next to Abby, but next to an actual picture of Abby.
That's, yeah.
So you were sleeping in the room where she was hacked to death. How many times was that?
She was hit
19 times.
My God. So
face down.
And you can even see the furniture's the same, the carpet's, pretty
There's
close.
A second photo right behind Jeff.
Right.
Look at the.
Oh,
you can see the blood coming out of her head and.
What head?
Yeah, brutally murdered. Right, exactly where we're standing, right where your foot is, right this very second.
That's her.
That's exactly
this
where.
Is where, yeah. That's amazing.
Now the bedspread is a nice white bedspread on this beautiful bed in here.
It is now.
You have one though, right? That's splattered red.
We do have one that we put out every August 4th. The Historical Society, however, still has the original, and you can still see the blood splatter on it.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, there are artifacts around town. Is that correct?
The Historical Society has most of the artifacts.
Okay.
Yeah, they can better keep it.
And so people, it's been a bed and breakfast for how many years now?
About 20, 21.
And people come here to stay in the room where someone was murdered.
Oh, this is our most requested room at night. Matter of fact, I was a tour guide the other night, and she brought a sleeping bag so she could lay right on the floor where Abby died.
Oh my! That's a little much. I don't know if I would do that.
Yeah, that's what she did. Yeah.
So, what do people tell you about this room? I know everybody feels like they felt something whenever they go to a place like this, but do people actually walk downstairs in the morning, shaking, white as a ghost, saying, "I just had an experience"?
We have had guests have experience in this room.
Yeah.
And I myself have had many experiences in this room.
Okay.
What happened?
Usually when I'm giving tours, especially when I first started working here, I'd be being poked in the back while I was talking. I've seen white mist form in this room. I've got, I like to ghost hunt the house, Jeff, so I have a little bit of equipment. And Abby speaks to me all the time in this room over the spirit box. Or I'll put my little light-up toys and say, "Can you walk over and light it up?" And she does.
Now, for the most part, these people were nice. They were good people.
Oh, yeah.
They weren't evil people. They weren't bad people.
Abby's still very nice.
So I would imagine
grumpy,
in the afterlife they would be nice. These aren't ghosts that are going to hurt you.
Abby, anyway. Andrew.
Andrew, yeah, maybe. Okay.
Well, they were victims.
Right.
Come on. This was, it's a powerful place. So, talking from Leanne and speaking with you in the past, I know people come here because they're true crime fans, and people come here because they're paranormal fans, and people come here because they're both, right? And so this place tucked in Fall River, we're across the street from the courthouse, and yet this time capsule from 1892 sits here, and has been meticulously made to look like 1892. Right. Look around. All of this, like if you look at these crime scene photos, has been pieced together.
Right. The actual crime scene photos are here in this room. So this isn't like, you've got to be a little demented to want to stay here. Come on.
I've stayed here.
A little, just a little.
A lot of history buffs that don't even believe in a paranormal.
Okay.
Which is fine.
Well, those would be the true crime people, I would imagine. So you got two sets of people that would want to stay here.
Some of them are converted by morning. Others,
Okay.
You have to remember, too, though, that, this is an unsolved crime.
Right. No one ever caught the individual.
So there's people that think, well, I can solve it, right? I'm going to look at the depositions. I'm going to read all the court, which are all available online. And I'm going to come there. I'm going to look.
This would be part of the process of staying here.
I'm going to be the detective, and I'm going to solve this. And
Jeff, I've taken forensic classes through this house, criminal justice. I've taken the FBI through the house.
Wow.
Yeah, everyone thinks once they, walk through the rooms, know which doors were locked, that they're going to be able to solve it.
Yeah.
But with this story, the more you know, the more complicated things become.
All right, who did it?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying, Jeff. The more complicated, you really can't say.
Where were you on the night of August 4th, 1892?
Not here.
All right.
Is there a consensus with the staff here? Have you guys gotten together and said, you know what, we've come to a conclusion, and it was Lizzie who did it. It was anybody.
No, I'd have to say that, a lot of staff, of course, yes, think she did do it.
Yeah.
But we have a number of people that work here that do not think she did it.
Okay.
I'm willing to go on record as saying I believe in my heart of hearts she was at least involved. Like, yeah,
And if she was involved, was her sister involved?
well, that's
a good
Well,
question.
I have trouble believing Emma was involved.
Really?
And I explain it to the guests this way. If I thought, even if I conspired with my sister to commit murder, I know I myself couldn't actually do it. And if I thought my sister could I then go move in with her?
Oh, that's true,
at
yeah.
another house?
Would you
I'd
want
be
to spend
afraid
time with
close
her?
my
Yeah.
eyes at night. You know what I mean?
She did leave her at one point.
She did leave her, but after, 12 years?
Was
of
it that
living with
long?
her over there.
Yeah.
You got to remember too. This is a deeply personal murder. This
Right.
is not like I just need you dead. I'm going to poison
Exactly.
you. Or shoot
People
you.
come up to me all the time and say, "Oh, she did it for the inheritance." No, once
Yeah.
or twice you're dead, you've inherited. Way too much passion to build.
And it also wasn't a robbery.
No.
Somebody didn't just
Nothing was
breeze
stolen,
in, because then that's a knock to the head with
And
a
you gotta
bat.
remember,
Or
some of these doors were locked, so
Right.
you did not have free walk through this house.
Yeah,
If anybody did walk through certain rooms, they would have had to been let through those rooms.
right. And there must have been a lot of creaking. I mean, just walking in this room now, we're experiencing a lot of creaking on the floor as we were walking in. I noticed
There
that.
weren't
So
lot
it's not a
of people in
quiet
the
house.
though. There weren't a lot of people in there.
No, but enough. I mean, you would think the maid would have known
She
where.
was outside.
Was she outside at the time?
was outside.
Okay.
Where,
All right.
where was Bridget at the time?
Bridget Sullivan, while Abby was being murdered, was outside the yellow house next door. Jeff's actually original. The Kelly family lived there. She takes this long break having a conversation over the fence with the Kelly's family maid, witnessed by them. So she's got a solid alibi. She was washing windows, so the windows would have been closed.
Right.
Not
Okay.
much sound would have been outside of the house.
And there was no time to scream either. The way the murders.
No, they think Abby
happened.
more than likely knew her assailant, and most likely was facing that assailant.
Right. So, from what I understand, hit face first and then fell forward on her face because they were.
Yeah.
You got to. I mean, an axe to the face when that's one shot is going to knock you down.
Right.
And
But knocked
then-
her forward.
Yeah,
You know,
most
she
likely
spun around.
She gets hit to the left side of the face first.
Yeah.
She's facing this way, so more than likely it spun her. She either falls
Boom.
or is pushed to the floor. That killer would have had to straddle her body in this tight area.
Right. Yeah, and it is a tight area.
Yeah, and this is probably about exactly the space they would have had then, right?
Yeah, I actually saw my very only apparition in this room.
Okay,
Did
what
you?
happened? What happened?
I'm giving a tour. I usually stand right about where he is when I talk. And I'm
Where the
watching
murder
guests come up the staircase
happened.
and look over under the bed. The last one, this guy had a GoPro. He was the last coming in every room. So I see him come to the top of the stairs. Then I look back over and I see like a woman with white on walk past him. So at first I thought it was somebody else on my tour. I says, "Oh, you gotta have to come in this room." And he turns over his shoulder and he's like, "Nobody there." But then at the end of my tour, he said, "Did you see a lady in white? Is that why you said that?" I said, "Oh my God, yeah." He says, "Yeah, I saw her too."
Wow.
Wow, that's really cool.
Do people get scared?
Do I ever
Do,
get
do,
scared?
do people get scared here in general? Do they get scared if they see these things, or is it more of a comforting sensation?
It depends. I've had people, leave the house.
You have, yeah.
Yeah. I myself left the house a few occasions.
I mean, let's face it.
Wait, hold on. What made you leave the house?
Just being scared. I was growled in my ear twice down the basement here, Jeff.
Oh,
Yeah. They brought in that psychic Chip Coffee.
Yeah, we know Chip.
So I was talking to Chip, and I was telling him about it. He said, "Sue, as soon as you told me, a man appeared." He said it was Andrew. You wandered where he was down the basement, and he was trying to scare you out of there. So I said, "Oh, well, good job."
it worked. He did it.
Yeah, scary stuff. Yeah, we filmed Ghost Adventures here years ago. That
Yeah.
was one of the first TV projects I worked on here.
Really?
Actually, no, I take it back. I was here for, God, what was the show on the History Channel? Monster Quest, Ghosts.
Ah.
Geez, yeah.
That is
That's
way
right,
back,
yeah.
way back when. Oh my God, I was just a kid, just a crazy kid with a dream. All right, so let's keep moving.
Okay, yeah.
because, we don't have much time. But before we go, there's in the corner here, there's a dress worn by Elizabeth Montgomery, of course.
Oh,
when
yeah.
she portrayed Lizzie Borden. So that's Elizabeth Montgomery.
I just watched the Christina Ricci version.
That
Yeah,
was
this one's the best one, though.
This one's good, yeah.
If you can catch it, you should.
The Legend of Lizzie Borden.
She actually turned out to be related to Lizzie.
No kidding.
6 cousins. Had no idea when she took on the role, though. No wonder she played her so well.
And she played a witch.
And she
I
played
mean,
Bewitched,
there's
right?
something there.
Of course. All right, you got to check this out. So it's an interesting layout to the house. Notice it's not like a hallway. So now we're in Lizzie's room. Lizzie's bedroom.
This is Lizzie's. At first it was Emma's until about 1.5 years before the murders and the girls switched rooms.
Gotcha. And then this next door is Andrew's, right? Master bedroom, yeah. So
you had to walk through.
But this door would have been locked from Andrew's side with a desk pushed up against it. Lizzie had this latch lock on her side, and her bed was kitty-cornered right here.
Okay.
So no one would have been able to walk through this door and discover Abby's body.
Okay.
Right.
What's of note in this room, by the way? There's a lot of artifacts in all the other
Go around
rooms.
to that
But
bookcase there.
real quick, Jeff, let's just take
sure.
a look over
this
here.
This is the only thing that the Bordens actually owned, right? In the bookcase?
Some of the china downstairs in that front parlor belong to the Bordens as well. But yeah, all these books on the first 2 shelves wrapped in plastic were actually Lizzie's books. That's her handwriting. She wrote her initials inside this book behind the scary-looking Lizzie doll here.
Yeah.
Notice this book title here?
Yeah, When Ghost Meets Ghost.
Ghost meets Ghost.
With edge tools.
With edge tools. Wow, yeah.
And this one off to the right, guys, this is about Lizzie Borden, written in her lifetime. And when that was published, she didn't like that too much. She tried to buy up most of the copies of that book.
No kidding.
It's one way to make a living writing books.
The acid.
Yeah. All right. So
All
we're gonna head into the master bedroom. It feels like an old house, right?
It does, yeah.
This is just very much like a... I noticed you just knocked on the door.
Another thing Chip told me to do.
Because we're in here alone.
He
There were
said,
so many
"Announce
rooms."
yourself, Sue, and you might not get growled in your ears often. Yeah.
So this is the master bedroom, Andrew's room. People often leave coins for him, and
I have no coins.
don't take them.
If I want to get out.
People who take his change.
And then
The wedding dress.
yeah.
Sandalwood fan shawl.
All right. So let's head upstairs
Okay.
now. We're gonna see a little bit more. So
There are bedrooms everywhere, by the way.
Right.
In such a small, but it's not that small.
But that would not
But
have been a bedroom back then.
this wouldn't have been. So
No,
we're
that
looking
was
at a
Abby's
bedroom right
changing
off of the
room, and
bedroom.
that was Andrew's office. It was robbed about 1 year before the murders.
Okay. So that was kind of common, right? Just people walking into houses and robbing them?
Well, no, Andrew had a feeling that was an inside
It
job.
was it? Okay. Oh, yeah. Because she was a little...
So as you can see, there's another set of staircase up here. So
Yeah.
you could
Where do these stairs go?
Back down to the kitchen.
right to where we came
You're
in.
supposed to say they go down.
They go down.
That's-
They do go down. And up here, we're gonna head up to the 3rd floor. Some carpeted stairs.
And this is where Bridget, right?
Bridget the maid
Bridget, yes.
was up here.
Bridget the maid. Is that what they called her?
They called her Maggie, right?
Yes.
And they called her Maggie. This is like a crazy story. They called her Maggie because the maid before was named Maggie, and they couldn't.
It was just easier.
They couldn't bother to learn a new name,
Okay.
Just Lizzie and Emma called her Maggie.
which is just wonderful. So there's a picture of Bridget right on the wall.
Yep.
And this would have been her quarters, right?
Bridget in her old age. She actually lives until 1948.
Oh, wow. She held some secrets, I'm sure.
You wonder.
I'm sure she did.
Yeah. Do you think she knew something?
Yeah, I think so. I think as soon as Lizzie called her down the stairs, I think she did know. And she may have even helped clean up the crime scene.
So right, she was here when Andrew. So Andrew was killed. What, an hour or so after?
Hour and a
Abby?
half.
About an hour, hour and a half, yeah. At that time, Bridget would have been up here, actually. She just come up to lie down in her bed before the noon meal.
Right. You've been in this house now enough.
Yeah.
You're laying here. Someone's getting hacked to death on the first floor.
Right.
12 times, right?
10 to 11 times.
Yeah. You're not going to hear that? You're not going to at least come, like, excuse me, everything
Actually,
okay?
you know, Andrew was taking a nap. He might have just let out a little sound after the first blow. I don't think she did hear anything.
We're going to have to do an experiment.
The hits. I would think you'd hear the thuds, the thud of the body falling.
No, he was on a couch.
But of Abby.
Well, no,
Abby,
she was outside.
Oh, she was outside. That's right. I'm sorry.
Well, when you
okay,
when
I
you
could see
crush
that being
a skull
quiet.
with a hatchet ray, it sounds like kind of like.
But
Oh,
you
I've
got to
said too
remember,
much.
there's so many closed doors between here and that sitting room.
And it was two stories
And
stories down.
All right,
These,
all right.
These walls are solid.
All right, that's true.
Yeah.
This is a solid old house. All right, we're going to take a quick look, and then I'd like to take you to the basement where I had a ghost
Oh, wait,
experience.
never start a sentence with that. I'd like to take you to the basement, Ray.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Lead into that with something
Okay.
positive and
Hop in the
fluffy.
van. There's puppies and candy. And then
Biggest room in the house is straight ahead.
Oh, good.
straight ahead.
This,
So
this right here. Yeah.
I'm gonna the chest full of toys. I want to tell you a story that Leanne told me because we can't talk to her. Unfortunately, she's tied up today. But she told me, and this was probably the first time I asked her about it. I mean, years and years ago. It was one of her first nights sleeping in the house, and she had said that she had woken up and there was a rocking chair, right? A rocking chair in the corner.
In Bridget's room.
Yeah, so she was sleeping in Bridget's room, and I guess she went to the bathroom, and the chair was rocking. And she had said that she went to sleep that night and like, okay, the chair stopped, a little freaked out. She wakes up and the chair had been moved to right next to the bed.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
And she sees the chair. Come
I've
on.
got goosebumps.
I'm into this stuff.
That's amazing.
And like,
Sure.
That's when you're like, check please, but you own the place, so you can't check please. You have to stay.
I think if I was staying here, I would be sleeping next to the closest exit to the street, not to like a staircase.
Right.
I'm not on the third floor, although I'm intrigued now.
So
would I stay here?
So this is the Hosea Knowlton room. And
Say no.
Sue, why is this the freakiest room?
Worst night of my life in this room, Jeff.
What happened?
Leanne had to leave the property one time, so she said, so you're going to have to sleep in the house with the guests. Normally, we get to go home at night. She said, the whole second floor is rented. We haven't done the beds yet in the first 2 rooms up here, so you're going to have to stay in a Knowlton room. Now, I hate this room most of all, Jeff, because there's stories that sometimes people are in this bed, and the toys in that toy box will come on it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't do that whole kid thing. So I had my sister come.
No clowns.
No.
No.
I made my niece come stay with me that night.
Yeah.
I gave my tour, hung out with the guests. 2 o'clock in the morning, all the guests come to bed. So my niece and I came up here. Now, I had a night vision camera in the corner over there. I had a SP7 spirit box. I was sitting on this bed playing with dowsing rods. So I asked if anybody was up here. The rods slammed together for yes. I said, is that you, Andrew? Slammed together for yes. I said, where are you? Hey, the rod's bent behind me. Now, I'm always told my grandparents protect me in this house.
Yeah.
So I said, Meme, Pepe, you up here? They slammed together for yes. I said, where are you? They pointed behind me. Hey, I had my niece take my picture. Check
Oh,
this
look
out.
at that. So we're looking at a picture.
wow.
Sue's holding dowsing
Orbs.
rods, and there's 2 like orbs right
She
by the
says,
dowsing
they're
rods.
right where they're standing. Said they were standing, right?
Wow.
And then all the voices start coming over the spirit box. Now, I had put my cell phone down on the nightstand over there.
Yep.
I says, what do you want to do? We're not sleeping. She says, Auntie, I recorded the Patriots game. Let's watch that. I said, all right. Now, Jeff, we had every light on in this attic, trust me.
Yeah.
I reached over to get my cell phone. Before I even reached the nightstand, it was like I got electrocuted in thin air. So I
Wow.
yanked my hand back, and I called my niece around the bed. I said, hey, put your hand out near the nightstand. She yanks her hand back. She's like, what the heck? Right? So we're sitting there Googling it, and she comes up with this website that says, if you touch a spirit, it feels like an electrical spider web. Well, the second she says spider web, every light in this attic went out at once.
Oh.
So I'm like, forget that. We're not sleeping up here, right? We put our cell phone flashlights on, grabbed all our stuff, huddled together, running out of the attic. We get to the landing, all the attic lights came back on. And then all the lights
Wow.
from the second to the first floor went out. I couldn't leave the house. So we just kept running to that first room.
Wherever the light was. Follow the
We
light.
just sat there, huddled, watching the Patriots until the cook got there.
Who would
Wow.
have thought that a house where 2 people were murdered and no one was ever punished for it would be haunted all these years
Right.
later? I wouldn't get it. All right, let's head down to the basement, and
Yeah.
then I want to show you where something weird happened to me.
Okay.
All right.
Trust me.
I don't trust that face.
Right?
You can't see that face, folks, but
Yeah.
there's something sinister behind it.
The first time, I'll tell you on the way down.
Yep.
The first time
Go
I
ahead.
came to the house,
Yep.
it was we were doing a live radio broadcast. Spooky South Coast. My buddy Tim Weisberg. Hi, Tim. Leanne had some minor renovations going on, so the house was shut down, and we were the only people in it. There were 4 of us, and we had done the show probably about 11 p.m. And then around 11:30, we all went down here to the basement.
Okay.
And
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Sue. So we went down here to the basement. And we just got to the bottom of the stairs.
Okay.
And we're standing right about here where we are. And all 4 of us hear like 2 sets of scampering footsteps. Not 1, 2
Yeah.
going from the side door right into the kitchen. Just like thump, 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 thump.
Yeah.
Right? And we all looked at each other and went, oh no. Like, no one thought ghost.
Sure.
We thought kids from Fall River just broke in. Leanne trusted us with the place. We got to call the police. We got to manhandle them out, whatever. And we were up those stairs, however long it would take you to run up those stairs. 5, 6 seconds,
Sure.
right? And you get to the kitchen. There's no one there.
Wow.
We checked the door. It was locked just as we left it. Then we all look at each other and went, okay. Now, I know that's not as profound as seeing myths and getting electrocuted, but like, this doesn't happen to me often.
Sure.
And this is one of those places where I just went, okay, I can't explain that. And I've been in this house many, many times since. I've not heard the steps since. There's
Yeah.
nothing that could make that. It was two people that like ran.
Probably the kids. Yeah. I've heard it occasionally. Like you said, you could be in his house 100 times and not have an experience.
Sure.
But that 101st time, you might hear these footsteps go across the ceiling above you.
So you mentioned the kids, and you're talking about Borden kids, right? The next door.
They are Borden kids. They actually would have been Andrew Borden's cousins.
So the Bordens were not the first two people murdered in this vicinity. Andrew and Abby, they weren't even the first two Bordens murdered in this vicinity. Next door, right? It was.
That's correct. That yellow house next door in the 1840s belonged to Andrew Borden's uncle, Ludwig Borden.
Right.
He lives there with his wife, Elijah, and 3 young children.
And so one day the wife snaps and tries to drown 3 of her children in a cistern, succeeds in killing 2 of them, Holden and Eliza, and then slits her own throat and kills herself.
Jeez.
That happened right there.
Right there.
Like feet away from us, right?
And they were familiar with this house at the
Absolutely.
time.
It was 1840, so it was like on one property back then.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're talking 50 years before
Yeah.
Andrew and Abby. That happened. So there was a newspaper report from 1892 that said, is there like a black cloud hanging over this property? Because this is now like, 4 Bordens and,
Yeah.
like brutally murdered.
Deadly grounds, huh?
Yeah. Scary. And so those footsteps, they sounded like scampering kids
Yeah.
when we were here. They didn't sound like adults stomping or
Sure.
walking. They ran.
Light footsteps.
And yeah.
Running.
And
Yeah.
one other thing before we head upstairs.
Yeah.
So the couch is right about here-ish, right?
Yep.
So, Ray, the blood would have been dripping.
Oh.
And I believe they've used luminol at some point, right?
I've heard the detectives from L.A. came out here and sprayed luminol and saw blood. Whether or not that's true, Jeff, I can't really say.
Sure. Luminol looks for I believe the iron content of the blood, and it can light up
Yeah.
for years and years later. And I mean, the blood would have soaked the couch, soaked the floor,
Right.
and soaked this
Gone through
wood
the floorboards. Yeah.
right above our heads right
Wow.
now. So
Wow.
this is the Lizzie Borden basement. This house
Amazing.
has been here. What year was it built?
1845.
1845. So the house has been here a long time.
Yeah.
And it's haunted.
Back there's where I got growled in my ear, that back room in the basement.
Okay. I would stay away from there.
All right. So let's head back up, and we'll. The cistern, right? Oh, please.
The
Yeah,
what
sorry.
room?
Thank you. The cistern. And this is important to the case, right?
All right. Stay close to me, will you? I don't want to be the last one.
So we're looking at like a pot in like a brick wall here.
The laundry.
It's
Okay.
It's an old cistern. Right?
Oh,
So
more
it's pretty
pictures.
cool. Now, we can't say this is paranormal, but anytime we bring guests down here and we tell them put their flash on, it's original. We tell them take your photograph.
Let me do that.
No.
Okay.
You give it a try.
All right. Flash on, or it doesn't
Yeah,
matter?
put your flash on.
I'm going to do
Thumbs up.
one without. I'm going to do one with the flash.
And what was the significance of this cistern with the case? Right? Wasn't her dress in it, or?
Lizzie was seen coming down here a few days after the murders. She walks past the privy and she goes this way. So the officer, looking through the side window, ran around the back of the house to see what she was up to. Now, at some point, she had squatted down in front of a sink and then in front of this. As you can see, Jeff, all these bricks have been searched. They didn't find anything, but she was obviously up to something here.
Yeah. So possibly trying to hide something or whatever.
Could be, or cleaning something.
For some reason, my flash won't go off. Ooh, maybe that's a thing.
Hit it.
I think it's too bright.
Got it. So
All
it's
right.
trying to correct for you. So yeah, all right. So this is the cistern.
Show you mine.
Okay.
All right. So Sue is showing us her phone.
And what are we looking for? More orbs?
Oh, like a face. Yeah, I see that.
Oh,
See the
yeah.
same eyes messed up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not this is Andrew, I don't know.
That,
But I've heard
look
it's
at
a
the
psychic
hairline,
influence.
and
Doesn't
you
it
can see it all.
match
Yeah,
up?
it does.
I'll try this. I'm going to try to take a picture. Same thing.
Yeah, have you examined that with like a flashlight to see if you can see it?
You can see it by shining a light.
Okay.
I've heard it's a psychic impression in the wall that it
Oh.
is Andrew.
Oh, I see it
Borden.
right now.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
Yeah, there it is. See?
Oh, look at that.
So I just took a picture. We'll post this with the episode. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, we'll get a few more pictures too, right?
Absolutely.
Who's
All
going
right.
to do laundry down here? And do they come down in pairs?
Housekeeping does that.
Yeah. Oh gosh, it's already.
Do you have to hire outside people to come in and do this kind of stuff?
Oh, yeah.
And they're okay with it, obviously. Do you lose a lot of people?
I mean, some of the housekeepers get creeped. We have had a housekeeper make the bed, turn back around, and saw a big indentation on the bed and never came back.
Sure.
Perils of the job. Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna head back upstairs.
Okay.
We'll finish this.
I'm not going last. So,
All right.
yeah, Sue's going last. Yeah.
Good luck. All right, we're heading back upstairs, back to the kitchen area, right about where we started this whole grand tour. And this is where the final meal would have been prepared that day, right here in the kitchen.
Mutton?
Mutton. Sue, thank you for doing this.
This
with
is
us.
great.
It was my pleasure.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
So glad we did this. Thank you.
You got to see the Lizzie Borden house.
Yeah.
What's your reactions now? You've been to a place. 2 people were murdered here.
Right.
You were right there.
4 on the grounds.
4 on the grounds.
Yeah. My impression is it's a nice place. I know you were growled at, and I didn't experience anything like that, but I feel comfortable, much like I did in the Conjuring house.
Okay.
I have no bad feelings, but I also feel like some stuff happened here. You can sense that walking through the house.
There's a heaviness to it, and I think especially when you know the story, when you know a little bit about the history, and you walk where history happened, where people lost their lives.
Right.
You connect to it, and that's not being psychic. That's just being human.
Right, and I do feel a connection. Luckily, it's not a negative connection.
Right.
But who knows? If I stayed here
Yeah.
a little while longer,
It gets late.
I could change my
it gets
views.
Quiet.
Yeah.
It's Halloween, of course.
Right.
And yeah, scary things are afoot.
I mean, you have to take into account the creaks, just the natural creaks of the house.
Yeah, and this, like Chip told me, so nothing demonic in the house, but it is a little unnerving if somebody talks in your ear and there's nobody
Sure.
standing there.
That's not a creak
or
in
you
the
get
floor.
Touched, or you hear the creaks in the floor, the footsteps above you.
Or you get zapped by an
Zapped
entity.
in the
Yeah.
air,
Yeah, okay.
So as dark as the history is, of course,
Yeah.
people were murdered here. We know that. But at the Lizzie Borden house, it's safe to say they do treat you like family.
They do treat you like family at the Lizzie Borden house.
That they do. Would like to thank the Lizzie Borden Bed and Breakfast and Museum for giving us the run of the place for a little while, and thanks to Sue Vickery for leading us through and sharing her stories.
Happy Halloween to all of our legendary listeners. We do appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
So please do us a favor, help spread the word. Post your favorite episode on social media and leave a review for us online. That's how we grow. And you can still call or text our legend line anytime at 617-444-9683. You can even leave a show closing on there for us.
Would like to thank Tim Ellis and Brad Blair from the Creaking Door podcast for lending their voice acting talents this week. And, of course, our theme music is by John Judd.
Hi, this is Stephanie Rockwell from Austin, Texas. Until next time, remember, the bazaar is closer than you think.